I'm pretty excited. I hope you are too. We're about to kick into some pretty crazy Python coding by introducing functions and playing with them a little. I'll see you in the tutorial. Okay, now welcome to our Python tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to be covering functions. Functions are really important because it's a stepping stone into your next level of coding. You now know about loops, variables, conditional statements, and you know how to output text. Well, that all comes into play now that we're going to be hitting on some functions. Let's dive on into the presentation and then get to the code, the good stuff. Okay, so an overview, functions. So basically what a function is it's a block of code that you predefine and it executes actions based off of input data and when required outputs it. They work by defining them, naming them, identifying input variables. Then you have your fancy code inside, loops, conditionals, whatever it may be, and then you return a result if required. Here's our example. Now there's a little bit more code here, which is why I'm going to break it down a little bit more. So by breaking it down, we have our variables. We have a loop. Figured, why not use loops if we know how to use them, right? Get some of that practice in. And then we have a function. Now this function does not have input variables because we're actually using global variables. Okay, now it's time to follow along with the code itself. Here we are on the doing work screen. So the first thing we're going to do is we have a variable named name. Very descriptive. We have another one named age. And our final one is confirm. We're setting it to no right at the start. Now we're going to define our first one. Now we're stating that it's global so that we can actually modify it. Same thing with age. And we're using a library function called input. We're setting a prompt. Hey, what is your name? And then we're putting in type, so that's whatever the user types, and loading the variable with that. We're going to do the same thing with age. Just one more question. What is your age, sir? And again, we're just going to take in some text here, and it will be age. That's it for that function. The error we're getting up here is it just wanted 2 lines. 1, 2. So let's go here. Define, it's a function. We're going to do the same thing here. It'll be global name, global age, and global confirm. First thing we're going to do is we're going to print our message. Is Your name, whoops, we need to do quotations. Your name, and then name, and is your age age. Then we're going to go confirm equals input confirm type equals confirm. Now we'll put in our conditional here. If confirm equals no, then we'll print well, isn't that a shame? Elif confirm equals yes, print very good, sir. Else then we're going to do while confirm equals no, and it's a function. Okay, so as in the past, we have our variables. Now we use def to define a function. We're using global in order to tell the function that we're using an external variable, and it allows us to modify it. Then we have our name, and we're using the function input. That's saying, hey, we have input here, prompt. And then it takes what we type and it puts it into the variable. Same thing with age. Now we leave 2 blank spots, and then we move on to the next function. Same thing. What we're doing is we're taking in the conditional so the user confirms whether or not it's correct. Once we know if it's correct, we then go to the conditional and we put out messages accordingly. Now we have a fallback here that just sets it to no if it doesn't understand the input. And we move down here to the loop. Now the loop will go continuously until we get a positive feedback, which is the Y letter. Now let's try running this as I just typed it. I don't know how good it actually is. What is your name? Travis. What is your age? 29. Is that correct? Let's just say no. Well, that's a shame, isn't it? What is your name? Travis. What is your age? 28. Yes, and then it exits. Very good, sir. So there we go. That's just a quick example of functions. We're going to get more use out of them. This is just your introduction. Just like I said, we get more uses out of variables and loops. I'm getting a phone call right now. I'm just going to ignore it and I will answer it in a moment. So, any questions could be answered either in the comments, in the Discord, or during live chats if I manage to see them. I'm going to move out to the outro.